a receiver after they said they wouldn't do a long-term deal to George Pickens this week. They went defense, trading up for Caleb Downs at 11 and taking Malachi Lawrence later in the first. Jerry Jones talked about moving up for Downs.
He's a prize for us, sitting there with the fives, without the fives, when it would absolutely cut your heart out. I was just thinking of the times that we've been the next pick and had somebody move up and get him. We had every reason to think that that might be happening. Didn't want to lose him.
Marcus, what did you think of the Cowboys selections?
They were phenomenal, Boogie.
Hey!
I actually told RC, hang in there, big fella. I told RC, let's go sit in the Cowboys section here at the draft so I can talk about these beautiful picks that the Cowboys made between Downs and Malachi Lawrence. But honestly, it's two that they needed. They needed to revamp this defense. They needed some juice on this defense, a secondary quarterback per se in Caleb Downs. And I like Malachi Lawrence. Not no pun intended, but DeMarcus Lawrence, and when he came out of Boise, this guy reminds me a lot of that.
Man,
it's
RC.
Okay. It's okay. Hey.
RC, you okay?
If you can't celebrate with your friends, you know what they say about you as a person.
I like the Steelers more than the Cowboys.
Hey! All right, hey, Swag, I'm about to get to the Bears here with RC, but after this, y'all have to go in the Steelers section. By the way, is this entire place, okay? The Bears went defense at number 25 with safety Dillon Thieneman. RC, how does he fit in Chicago?
For me, Dillon Thieneman is going to replace Kevin Byard, who led the league in interceptions with 7 last year. Here you see him in 2023, 6 interceptions as a freshman at Purdue. You don't even see him in the screen right now, and I did this so I could show you the sort of range this man has with that 4.3 speed. Watch him climb and get the ball and finish, and here you're going to see it again. He has such great anticipatory skills as a free safety, now paired with Kobe Bryant, who the Chicago Bears got from the Seattle Seahawks in this offseason in free agency. Once again, climbing, going high, point the football, and get out and get down the sideline. Now, this is one of the best plays that he made the entire year. This is him dropping into the robber position. He's going to read the quarterback and get to the wheel route by the off-ball tight end and make another play. You saw the speed at the combine, but when you turn the film on, he turns that into range, anticipation, and playmaking. And that's what you need when you're replacing a Kevin Byard, who is an absolute ball hawk.
Anticipatory.
All right, go find the Steelers section, Swag. You got to do your boy right there.
Let's go, Art.
Makes you think about all the Steelers that are featured in that weekly series. 61 captivating stories, getting you ready for Super Bowl 61 on ESPN, ABC, and Disney. We continue to reflect on what happened in round 1 of the draft, also getting you ready for round 2. We're with you until 5 p.m. right here on ESPN. And one of the big moments last night had to do with Jeremiyah Love, the Cardinals selecting the running back out of Notre Dame, 3rd overall. And they looked to trade out. They did not do that. They picked Love. I talked to him about his plans when he gets to Arizona.
It's just a blessing, you know. I feel very honored to represent the running backs, and I'm going to put on for them. I'm going to put on for all football players. I'm going to put on for Notre Dame. I'm going to put on for my family. And lastly, I'm going to put on for the Cardinals. We're going to do some special things together.
Dan, we had talked a lot about the value at 3 versus the position and, you know, some of that rigmarole. You loved this, right? Because they took the best player in a lot of people's minds in the draft.
At the 3rd pick.
Yeah.
Arizona's picking 3rd because they don't have enough good players. They got 2 players on their team that are making more than $10 million, okay? I think that we've lost sight of the salary cap conversation when it comes to the draft. The salary cap number, same for every team. The salary cap situation, not. And that should affect at least the way that you see certain players given the situation in Arizona. 27 and 28. They have the most cap space out of anybody in the NFL, and they will more than likely in those 2 years, even though they're 3 seasons away, be on a rookie salary cap situation. That's my question to you guys.
Yeah.
Doesn't that have to be a part of the narrative in the conversation? It's not black and white for every team given their salary cap situation.
No, and the draft matters. There wasn't a Jonathan Ogden in this draft. There wasn't an Orlando Pace in this draft. There wasn't a DeMarcus Ware in this draft. There was no one at 3 that they thought was a better player that they could justify taking over Jeremiyah Love. If salary cap, we could talk about salary cap's going up, guys. It's going up the next year. It's going up the next year. That's not going to ever be a hindrance for a team that's in need like this, in a draft like this. Speaking with sources in Arizona, the story all day yesterday was they're trying to trade back. Can I tell you something, guys? Nobody called up.
No one.
No one called up. The Saints didn't call up. The Chiefs didn't call up. The Cowboys didn't call up. And they weren't proactively making calls, so the plan all along was we'll listen to whoever. But Jeremiyah Love's on the board. He makes us so much better tomorrow than we were yesterday. They're thrilled to have him right now, and they've got a ton of more picks today.
Real quick, was he clearly their best player? Was it clearly like Jeremiyah Love?
Seems like it, right?
Like any other draft, they have their players and their scenarios. But yes, he was the best player on the board by far. That's why they took him third overall.
Field, there are some options still on the board for them at quarterback, right? You think about a Carson Beck, maybe a Drew Aller. I mean, there's some players that they could draft. They didn't get a quarterback in round one. Do you see them going for a quarterback later in this draft?
They have to, maybe as soon as tonight, maybe as soon as the second pick tonight, because they currently own number 34. Given the fact that the Jets traded up to 30, there's not a lot of competition for a quarterback between them and San Francisco, who currently own pick number 33. Here's a question I have is, given the fact that Ty Simpson, a target that we all linked to the Arizona Cardinals, went off the board last night, does that increase their urgency to, if they do want to take one of these quarterbacks, taking that player early to secure said player? Or is Arizona going to continue to try to play the board and say, if we have a third-round grade on a guy like Carson Beck or Garrett Nussmeier or Drew Aller, we're going to try to wait until pick number 65, which is when they are currently scheduled to pick in the third round tonight, and let that player fall to us. A very interesting dynamic today.
Quickly, you don't like
If I'm
that?
the Cardinals, I'm not taking a quarterback in round two. I'd rather lose most of my games next year and get into the Arch Manning Sweet States than take a second-round quarterback.
Okay.
Well,
Easy for me to say.
What
City.
if you like Carson Beck?
If you like Carson Beck, you're taking him then.
I want to
I'm
take a
still
kid that I
stuck
love
on the
next year.
first part of the conversation. You know, again, Jeremiyah Love's amazing. Number 2 player on the board for me. I get it. I've heard it. We've heard all the sides of the argument. I still remain on the side that if I have a chance to draft the pass rusher that I believe can influence winning more at number 3, that's where I would have landed. Jeremiyah Love is going to be an excellent player at the NFL level. We just have seen this story play out a few times recently, including the likes of Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, Field. I mean, you hope that they can surround him with enough firepower, especially on the O-line. You would talk about Ashton Genty, too, as another example of things not being ready for a player at that level. All right, Adam Schefter back in here for some top stories. Adam, maybe lost in all the shuffle with some big news surrounding George Pickens last night. What do we need to know about him and the Cowboys?
Laura, he's signing his franchise tender, which means two things. It means that he now must participate in the Dallas Cowboys offseason program because he's under contract, or at least training camp when it begins. He's obligated to be there, and the Dallas Cowboys now can trade him if they want. Now, they say they're not going to do it. They have no plans to trade George Pickens. But George Pickens wants to be paid, and he hasn't been paid yet. And Dallas says it won't sign him to a long-term extension. So maybe there'll be a trade down the line. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles traded with the Dallas Cowboys to go up and take Mekhi Lemon. He was on the phone with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers thought they were going to be able to get him. The Eagles jumped in front of them to pick number 20 to Dallas' spot. They take Mekhi Lemon to become the latest wide receiver acquisition for the Eagles, which sets up the eventual June 1st trade of A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots. The two sides cannot agree to and commit to a deal until after June 1st due to the salary cap ramifications. But right now, that trade is likely to happen, whereby A.J. Brown would be sent to New England, and New England now is traded for Dontavian Wicks, traded up to draft Mekhi Lemon, sign Hollywood Brown, sign Elijah Moore. They have replenished that wide receiver room, knowing what's ahead with A.J. Brown.
Yeah, reading the tea leaves, listen to the reporting from Adam. I think we all know what's going to happen there. Adam with us throughout. We're with you till 5 p.m. More coming your way here on NFL Live.